So today, we are going to be speedrunning through Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the demo version, because the official game doesn't come out until March 25th, and at that point we're going to be speedrunning the full game with Easy Speezy over on his channel, so I decided, why not go ahead and try the demo? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play solo, and the speedrun starts as soon as we hit A on Spring Breeze mode. The reason we do Spring Breeze mode instead of Wild mode is because Spring Breeze mode is much easier, and obviously in a speedrun you want to go as fast as possible, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start. The speedrun timer starts as soon as I click A, so 3, 2, 1, and go. So if you guys haven't already, I highly recommend if you have a Nintendo Switch to go ahead and download the demo on the Nintendo eShop, because I actually think that this game is super fun. Now obviously it's just the demo, and there isn't a ton of stuff to do in it quite yet, especially if you're speedrunning through it. As you guys will see, we don't really do a lot, we just kind of run through the game, but overall, you should download it. So right there, that was all the tutorial, but obviously because we already know how to play this game since I've beaten it at least 12 times already, I'm just running by everything. We don't really need to do anything in the tutorial, or in this area for that matter. The very first thing that we do that's important is we get the car, so let's go ahead and get that done. Now, one of the things that I learned about this speedrun is you don't want to flutter jump too early, because the flutter jump isn't actually that good. It's really slow, and if you aren't by a ledge or anything, there is a height limit that Kirby can go, so you want to just make sure that you go as quickly as possible once you get near the ledge. So now that we've made it by all this stuff, without getting a single item or anything like that, we're finally going to get the car. So there is a cutscene where Kirby sucks up the car, but we're going to go ahead and skip that because obviously if you've seen the trailer, you know that Kirby does have the ability to become a car. Now the thing about the car is it's actually pretty difficult to control. The controls are a little bit wonky on it, but it is super fun to drive around with. And also, I mean, Kirby just looks awesome as a car. I think we can all agree on that. Now, there are two paths there that you could have gone. You could have gone and knocked over that bridge and gotten the coins, or you could have gone around, but I think it's actually faster to go ahead and get the coins because you're already closer to where you need to go. So now we're in a new place, and we actually have to lose our car, unfortunately, but that's okay because we'll be using other items later. So now we come across our first boss fight, and it's to save this little elephant mouse thing. Now, a lot of people that I've seen have actually used items to go ahead and fight these guys, but I think it might actually be faster just to suck these guys up and then shoot them at the ones that spawn. And there we go, we beat the first boss. So now we rescue this little elephant thing and do this really cute dance. And now the elephant thing wants to talk to us, but we're going to go ahead and jump on the star. So now that we made it out there, we're heading to downtown Grassland, and like I said, we're just going to go as quick as possible. So now we're in downtown Grassland, and similar to the first area, what we're going to do is we're not going to suck up any enemies, basically, because we don't need them. To beat this speedrun, it's really interesting, actually, because you don't need to use any of Kirby's copy abilities, which, if you guys have ever played a Kirby game before, you know that Kirby's copies abilities are what makes Kirby, well, Kirby. The only things you really need to do are use this new gimmick where you can suck up real-world items. So right here, we're using a vending machine to shoot out soda cans, which I think is really funny. And then we're going to spit that out and jump on this ladder. Once we get up here, now those are collectibles, and they do play a little cutscene when you get them, so we're actually going to go ahead and ignore them. Now, I know this part looks like a boss fight, but you can actually just walk right by him and jump on the star, which is pretty hilarious because that guy looks like he really wants to fight, and Kirby's just like, see ya. So we'll go ahead and skip that, and now we're in the new place. So now, if I was playing this game for real and I wasn't trying to speedrun it, I would be trying to get all those items and collectibles and stuff because that's just who I am, but right now I'm not. Also, as you guys can see, those traffic cones were lighting up, and that's actually because we can use those as a copy ability, but we're not going to go ahead and do that right now because we don't really need to. But don't worry, because we are eventually going to need to use the traffic cones, so yeah, you're going to be seeing some of that soon, and there's actually a pretty cool trick that you can do with the traffic cone in a boss fight that's coming up. Now we have another boss fight, and it's a little bit more like a traditional boss fight. The weapons that I like to use for this are the cutter, and the reason I like the cutter is because you can throw as many out as you want at a time. I think it's like up to 5 or something like that, and you can kill enemies pretty quickly with it. Now we have this guy, this giant green armor guy, and I'm just going to go ahead and keep spamming my cutters at him. Now, spamming the cutters at him, he will put down his shield eventually, but the cutters can hit him from behind just like that, and then bam, we already won. So that's why I like to use the cutters. Now, to add insult to injury, as soon as he dies, we do actually have to attack him again when he's on the ground, which I think is pretty funny. So now we're moving on to another part of the speedrun, which I actually think might be the hardest part, because we're going to have to do a pretty cool trick coming up. So we're just basically going to ignore this guy, because why would we want to touch him? And right there, we're going to drop the cutter. Now, we could have dropped it a little bit later, but we're going to go ahead and get the traffic cone now. So now we have the traffic cone, and this part is actually really tough, and I haven't been able to hit it first try in a while, so let's see if we can make it work. Basically what we need to do is we gotta jump up, and I missed it. Oh gosh. Basically what we gotta do is jump over here, and then keep spamming B, so that way we can hit over on that other side. Please, 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 please! Yes! Oh, what? Traffic cone, yes, we made it! Okay, good. So now he's gonna go ahead and bite onto this pipe, which is good for us, because he's gonna break that off, and then all we have to do is use the traffic cone, so that we can get that out. And now we're going to try and avoid that object, which we ended up hitting. Darn it, that's a time loss, but that's okay. And now we're going to slam into this guy, because why not? That's just what we do as Kirby. Now we've beaten the second area, and there's one big boss fight at the end, which we're going to have to go do right now, and then that's going to end the speed run. So now we have the Brawl at the mall, which is where we're going to go ahead and fight against this big monkey guy. Now, luckily for us, we don't have to go into this without a power, and there is a power I do like to use for this, and it's going to be a different one from the cutter. So the power-up that I'm going to choose are these bombs. Now, if you've ever played Kirby before, you can see that these bombs do look a little bit different, and I'm not exactly sure the reason for that. They do have different properties, and I do actually like this one. It's kind of like a combination of the electric bomb. But now we're going to run up to this wall, and this gorilla is going to grab us because obviously he doesn't like us for some reason. He's going to squeeze us, and we have to try to break out. And now we have to fight him. So, whoops, didn't mean to pause there. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to spam bombs. Now, he is going to attack us, but because we're playing on Spring Breeze mode, it doesn't really matter. We're just going to keep running up and attacking this guy because we don't like him. And obviously, I know this looks weird, but we're just going to keep attacking him. Gonna grab my bombs back. It's okay if we do lose them. You'd really prefer not to because, yes, that is a time loss. But it doesn't really matter because this guy is not too difficult of a boss. Okay, so now he's going into his second stage. I have no idea what it's called, but we're just attacking his butt with bombs. And now he's gonna punch us. And here you can't really damage him. I mean, you can, but it's pretty difficult. So we're just gonna go ahead and dodge him for a few seconds. I'm sure there's a better way. And now that he's, like, knocked out a little bit, we can go up and just finish him off with all these bombs. The times end as soon as we finish him off, so basically, come on, boom. And there we go, guys. That is the speedrun of the Kirby and the Forgotten Land demo. Now, the reason I stopped the time there is because as soon as you finish off this boss, there's nothing else you can do. Now Kirby's running away, and it says more adventures in the full release. It wants you to buy the full game and everything, so this is basically the credits. So a 909, I think overall that's pretty solid. I know that there's probably people out there that have beaten this way quicker than I have, but I think that overall I'm pretty happy with the 909. I think this is my first sub 10, which I'm pretty happy about, so yeah. This was awesome, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a subscribe and also drop a like, and let me know what you thought of this video in the comments. I had a lot of fun making it. It took a lot of time to practice this, so yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great rest of your day.